Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about Chinese companies doing business in Vietnam. As you all know, Vietnam is a thriving country with a bright future ahead of us. Furthermore, our country has numerous advantages that attract foreign investment from countries such as China, Korea, Taiwan, Japan, and etc. With thousands of major and small businesses, China is a country that has invested in and entered the economic market of our country for a long time. For your reference, we will discuss some Chinese companies operating in Vietnam so far. Since 2015, China's FDI is appreciated for foreign direct investment into Vietnam has increased in the rankings of nations that have invested in Vietnam, as well as expanded in terms of geographic scope and investment industries. China has consistently been in the top 10 countries investing the most in Vietnam since 2015. Especially since Vietnam signed the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP), as China wants to get a foothold in the enormous CPTPP market through Vietnam. When looking at the bar graph, you can see that both total number of companies and total investment values of China to Vietnam experienced a dramatic increase over the period given between 2015 and 2020. In particular, in 2020, China has invested a total of nearly $19 billion in Vietnam with nearly 4,000 projects. China's FDI is present in most of Vietnam's provinces and cities, but it is mainly concentrated in border provinces with the border gate economic zones, coastal areas, densely populated cities with strong and huge labor attractions, good and excellent infrastructure, convenient for import and export of goods, as well as travels between two countries. However, according to market research experts, the amount of Chinese investment in Vietnam is much larger than the statistic. The reason is that Chinese investors and joint venture investment corporations have contributed their capital, even in terms of the money or technology or machinery, in Vietnamese companies in the variety of the industries. There are some big corporations originating from China have operated their businesses in Vietnam. Now we will discuss one by one. The first company in the list is Haliang Cooper Manufacturing Company Limited. The scope of the business of Haliang is devoted to the manufacture, sales, and services of high-end Cooper products, such as Cooper pipes, rods, pipe connectors, new conductor materials, and Cooper's processing equipment, etc. The registered capital at the beginning was $55 million. It started their business in Vietnam in 2008 with the factories scope about 170,000 square meters, and the company was based in Ho Chi Minh City, which is one of the most dynamic and the biggest industrial cities in Vietnam. The next company I would love to talk with you is the Texon Zinlong Textile Limited. The group is principally engaged in the production and distribution of quality yarn, crepe fabrics, and garment fabrics, especially of high value-added cross-burn yarn and fashion cotton textiles. The registered capital of the company in Vietnam was $350 million, which was the biggest investment capital registered since 2000 until 2011. The company started in 2011 in Vietnam with the factories based in the Dong Nai province, very close to the international airport, and that's the biggest port of the Vietnam. Then the factory scope is about over 500,000 square meters. And the last but not least, there's a company very famous in the manufacturing professional artificial turf systems. It's called Belling Turf Vietnam. They produce many different kinds of the turf system for various sports applications, including football, hockey, tennis, rugby, and multi-sport, which can meet the standards of FIFA and World Rugby, to mention a few. The capital registered at the beginning was $90 million in 2016, and then in 2018 it increased their registered capital to $120 million. The factory is large and big as over 208,000 square meters and based in the Tiền Giang province, was located in the Mekong Delta of Vietnam. So that's the all exemplary companies of China operating in Vietnam that I love to discuss with you, and I hope you enjoyed this talk. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a nice day.